Imagine you earn £12 per hour. How much would you earn if you work for 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours? Well, £12 per hour times 2 hours is £24. £12 per hour times 5 hours is £60. And £12 per hour times 10 hours is £120. This might seem quite straightforward, and it is. It's what most people talk about all the time. What we can notice is that as our hours worked increase, so does our wage, and it's by a constant rate. We can write down this relationship in an interesting way. We can say that earnings and hours are proportional to one another. This symbol means it's proportional to. It tells us that there's a relationship between earnings and hours, but it doesn't yet give us an equation. To turn proportionality into an actual equation, we introduce something called a constant of proportionality, or K. Whenever we see this symbol for proportional to, we can replace it with equals K times. In our example, we said that we earn £12 per hour. This means that K equals 12. The constant of proportionality is simply the rate of pay. K represents how strongly the two quantities are linked. So if somebody earned £15 per hour instead, the relationship would be E equals 15H. So if we wanted to know how much we would earn in 4 hours, we can plug 4 in for the H and we'd get that E equals £48. Direct proportion isn't just algebra, it also has a very clear graphical meaning. If two quantities are directly proportional, the graph is going to be a straight line that passes through the origin. So if you work 0 hours, you earn £0. So we can see that as x increases, y increases. If we double x, we double y. If we triple x, we triple y. Let's do a typical GCSE example. 2 kilograms of apples cost £3.60. Work out the cost of 3.5 kilograms of apples. So what we're saying here is that the more apples we buy, the more we're going to pay. Cost is therefore directly proportional to the weight. We can work out how much our weight has gone up by and scale our cost up by the same amount. So we've gone from 2 kilograms to 3.5 kilograms, so we've scaled up by 3.5 over 2. So we can times £3.60 by 3.5 over 2 to get our final answer. X is directly proportional to the cube root of y. When x equals 32, y equals 0.008. Find the value of y when x equals 80. This is a classic direct proportion question, slightly on the hard side though, but nothing we can't handle. The first thing we're going to do is swap out this proportional to sign for an equals k. And now we have an equation, we can substitute in the numbers given. Often our goal with these type of questions is to work out what the proportionality constant is. So we can substitute 32 in for the x and 0.008 in for the y. Now we can cube root the y to get 0.2. And finally a quick bit of rearranging will give k equal to 160. We can now look back at the equation that we wrote a moment ago, but substitute 160 in for the k. And finally, to finish off the question, we've been asked to find the value of y when x equals 80, so we can substitute 80 into the equation. Rearranging, we get that the cube root of y equals 80 over 160, which equals a half. And finally, cubing both sides, we get that y equals an eighth, or 0.125. And with that, we get to the end of our lesson on direct proportion. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to see videos like this in the future. Thank you, bye bye.